Another thing is yet another complaint about the quality of the pictures in the Crown Brush website. When I originally ordered this brush, I ordered it as a dupe for the MAC 109. Yes, this brush as a dupe for this brush. If anything, holding it in my hands, this more resembles the big MAC 109 face brush. As a matter of fact, this actually makes a pretty good substitute for it. It's not an exact dupe. For one, the ferrule on this one is not pinched, so it's round from the base to the tip, while the MAC 109 is obviously denser through the middle, denser at the bottom, at the base, through the middle. But they both form basically the same function. They're general function face brushes. They're great for blending, they're great for applying contour, they're good for blushes, especially if you like a fairly large application, like a diffuse application. Owning this brush, I would not get a MAC 129. Actually, to give you an idea of what the size is, this is 127. Yeah, it's slightly bigger, but at least you realize what you're getting. This handles powder great. It also handles liquid and gel. It does great. It will apply cream blush. I've used this for foundation for both liquid and the Sculpt and Shape and Sculpt, you know, the gel one. It handled it great. There was no breakage or shedding in the end result. So it's not something I'll use regularly, but that's not denigrating the brush. It's just I didn't like I didn't like how it worked. So all in all, this is a very good MAC 129 dupe. Now, as far as how it's made, they're both of these are very well made. Neither of them shed once they've been washed, which is great if you're going to use them for liquid or cream, because they won't leave hairs behind. Now, there is occasional breakage of fiber, so you'll have to watch out for that. The ferrule sits tightly. You know, the hair feels very secure. The handles fit nicely. As far as which one of these, though, definitely this one. It's not even a question. This is a fluffier, slightly denser brush. It's much softer on the face. It's as soft as the MAC 109, which is, to me, is great quality. This, on the other hand, is too rough to use on the face, in my opinion. I actually can imagine somebody with sensitive skin getting a breakout just from using this brush. It's gonna scratch you a little bit. If you already own it, I think it's great for something like a body application, if you want to apply powder or liquid to the body, but this is not gentle enough for the face. So when it comes to the big round fluffy brushes like these, definitely get this one and not the one from the Luna series. This is called a flat top bronzer, but it is basically a flat top buffer, general face buffer brush. It has, it's made of natural fibers. It has short, stiff bristles that allow for a good amount of pressure, which is ideal for somebody like me because I tend to press down on my brushes when I buff, especially. It's good for any kind of all-over face or small or general, large area powder application, but it stands up really well to thick liquids and gels as well. I've used it on with liquid foundation, and while that's not something I'll be using regularly, it's not something I'll be using it regularly for, it worked great. I didn't leave any hairs behind, which is always a plus and quite rare. As for the quality of it, I mean, it's incredibly dense, very dense. This is, they did not skimp on material when they made it. The quality is likewise excellent. The ferrule is nicely attached. The handle is thick, which is my personal preference. One small niggling complaint, I would have liked this to be a bit softer personally. It's slightly rougher than the MAC 109. Now, this is definitely to taste. So if softness is important to you, this will be perfectly fine for most people, but if softness is something that's really, really important to you, consider getting the buffer from the Italian Badger collection, because they tend to run softer. Just for quick size comparison, this is the 187. So you see the bristles are about 3/4 of the size, and this is the thickness. The handle is thicker. So this is an excellent quality brush. It's if it's something you think you would use, I would definitely add it to the collection. This is what 187 would look and feel like if it lost all its natural fibers, was all one length, and had about 150% more bristles. This is a synthetic buffer brush. It is very dense, very soft, very, very soft. But due to the density, it doesn't collapse on the face, into the face when you use it for application. It'll require a lighter touch than a brush with shorter, stiffer bristles. As you can see, it's not as short as the other natural hair one I showed you. It will require a lighter touch, otherwise it might drag and streak whatever you apply, and it also therefore isn't ideal for heavy liquids. However, it is excellent for powders and very good for thin liquids. I would not use this for creams. I can't even describe how amazing this feels on the face. I mean, I had a hard time believing that this was synthetic initially. It is a high quality brush with minimal shedding. It does shed a little bit. I've washed it twice only, so that might, it didn't lose any of its softness, but it might stop shedding after a couple more washes. There's no breakage. The synthetic fibers are incredibly high quality. As a matter of fact, the entire Syntho series is very, very high quality as far as brushes go. If you prefer synthetics for whatever reason, be it like because you're vegan, you're looking for cruelty-free, or you're allergic, you really need to check out the Crown Brush Syntho series. Some of the best brushes on the market, some of the best synthetic brushes on the market, as far as I'm concerned. So this is an excellent buffer brush, so soft. You'll play with it. I guarantee you'll want to be playing with it because it feels so good. The next brush review is going to be very short and done in mime. And the last brush is this Badger Hair Fan Brush. Now, I don't know if I managed to stick this on at the end of my Products I Regret video, because it was meant to go there, but I might have run out of time. But even though this brush is very well made and very soft and feels wonderful on the face, it is unfortunately not particularly useful. It is so thin and so soft that you're going to have problems applying any kind but very fine powder with this. And forget about blending. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's not going to move product around at all. I think this has one very limited use, and that is to apply fine powders that are very, very, very pigmented and very, very shimmery. Basically something that you're almost certainly to screw up if you use a regular brush and apply too much. Because this picks up so little product, you'll be able to meticulously control the intensity as you apply it. However, if you try this with anything with the regular pigmentation, you're going to be sitting there for an hour going, and it's just going to drive you nuts. So I feel a little guilty basically critiquing a brush that is clearly very high quality as far as manufacture is concerned. It It's, you know, the hairs are great, and it's attached very well. The ferrule is attached to the handle. The handle feels nice. However, definitely very, very limited use. Now, my recommendation is, if you want a fan brush, there's one in the Studio series. There's also one in the Luna series, but it is also an Italian Badger fan. So I think it will have the same problems as this one. Now, the Studio series will probably be stiffer, and that's the one I'm going to get in my next shipment. So that's it for the Crown Brush Big Face Brush review. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, or if you think I overlooked something, got something wrong, please leave a comment below. As ever, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.